You're listening to Brainbusta Radio.
Hey, yo, Josh, let me get a little bit of reverb. Yeah. J. Will. Yeah, I'm about that lifestyle. I talk green work, repping it all over. It's right on the t-shirt. Fan for a lifetime. Yeah, that's a long pass. Figure I would show some love right on the podcast. Turn this up loud and make sure you don't do nothing else. Cause if you're listening to us, then you're improving your health. My name is J. Will. Welcome to the show, yeah. Wrestle, flow, 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 yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh here, and as you can tell by the sound of this music and by the sound of my voice, it's a very hard week. This past Monday Night Raw, it happened. My beloved IIconics are no longer the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. I would like you all to take a moment with me to remember the times since WrestleMania. Please shed a tear for me, guys. Yes, it's true. Of course, as everyone knows, the IIconics are no longer the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. It was a devastating moment for me this week. It's been hard. It's been real. It has not been fun. Of course, though, the moment at WrestleMania can never be taken away from me. That will forever be the biggest moment of my entire wrestling life, I believe. I don't think I'll ever get a more genuine reaction to when they won, but it was probably equaled with when they lost. They were eliminated first in the Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag Team match. They then had the best meltdown I've ever seen. And then we were crowned new Women's Tag Team Champions in the form of Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And if I can take any positive out of this, it's that the titles went to the right team out of those other teams involved. I really do believe that the Women's Tag Team Championships have been looked at in they're just a whatever championship, and that was my concern from the very beginning of even announcing these titles. I said on this show, you can go back and listen, is that I really wanted Women's Tag Team titles, but I just feel like they weren't going to get the time and love they need and deserve, and especially for a new championship, you need that. And Alexa Bliss, along with Nikki Cross, but Alexa Bliss is someone that can probably elevate those championships. Those titles need her more than she needs those titles. And that's a good thing. The titles on Bliss can really, propel them to where they might be a little bit more important. But anyway, yes, August 5th, 2019 will forever be a dark day in my life. But ladies, I am truly sorry on behalf of the whole of WWE that you did not get the chance to show how entertaining and how good you girls actually are. Because the WWE did not give you a chance. And I never say that. I never just point out something like this. So you know it's real when it's coming from me. We know it's the truth, at least in my brain, when it's coming from me. Is that the WWE never gave them a chance to actually propel those championships. And they never gave them a chance to actually be the IIconics, other than like .com exclusives. And I know it. A lot of people know how good they actually are. And hopefully, this doesn't mean the end for their time, being mainstays in some form on television, because, hey, they're entertaining, those girls, as whether you want to love to hate them, or hate to love them, or hate them, whatever, they're entertaining. I do stand by that those girls are entertaining, and I hope that they can get more, I hope they get more chances at being tag team champions, because they are a tag team. They're probably the only, full tag team. Like, they're a genuine team they have in the women's tag team division. So, hey, I'm not going to harp on about it for the entire episode. Please just whatever. Now, you probably have noticed with the sound of just my voice for the last 3 or 4 minutes is that Kevin is not here this week. His new job is taking up a lot of his time, and it's just finding time for us. We got to figure out a new schedule here. We are in 2 completely different time zones, don't forget. But don't worry, Kevin should be back next week. But it's just me this week, guys. I haven't even got a fill-in. It's just me to run wild. I have my cup of hot coffee next to me, and I'm ready to fucking go. Today, we're going to do a little Summerslam prediction show. We're going to run down the entire card from top to bottom. I'm going to give you my predictions on what I think is going to happen. Now, before we even get into that, I do want to hype up some things that I've got going on, as well as Brainbusta TV has got going on, and Brainbusta Radio in general. First things first, you're hearing this on Friday, so whatever time you're hearing, at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going in the States time, because that's where a lot of the fan base is based, is in the United States. 7 p.m. Eastern, this Friday night, August 9th, will be a Brainbusta TV SummerSlam WWE 2K19 simulation. I will be there from the kickoff, which starts at 6 p.m, along with Queen and Conrad. They're going to be on the kickoff with me. We're going to break down everything, and then I'm going to host the entire show from 7 p.m. onwards. So 6 p.m. is the kickoff show. 7 p.m. Eastern is the main show. Make sure you come join us. It will be a lot of fun. Twitch.tv/BBR TV. Playing all through the matches, and it will be really, 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 really fun. If you haven't watched Extreme Rules and Stomping Ground simulations, they're a lot of fun. Like, seriously, that you'll have a grand old time watching them. Go to my YouTube if you haven't watched those. Go through and watch them before you watch SummerSlam. But please, 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 come and check us out this Friday night. Also for Brainbusta TV, on August 24th, or 25th, wherever you are in the world, Brainbusta TV officially launches. We've got our summer stream, and we'll have all of the team involved in some way, shape, or form, and we'll have exclusive guests. We've got some other really cool things really going on for the summer stream, so make sure you join us on August 24th. You can go to Brainbusta Radio on Twitter, and you can find all the details, or head to Brainbusta TV on Twitter, and you'll find all the details you need to find out for Summer Stream. What else have we got going on? Okay. Over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/JoshRobinson00, next Thursday, next Thursday in my time, but next Wednesday night for the guys in the States at 7 p.m. Eastern, or 8:30 in the morning on Thursday of next week in Australia, in my time. It will be, of course, the Battle of the Content Creators. I had a Royal Rumble a couple of weeks ago, and it was a success. Let's put it that way. A lot of people were really excited about it, and I think I found something that's cool. So if you just head to my Twitter or head to my Twitch, you'll find all the details you need to find out for Battle of the Content Creators. We're doing a big 32 content creator tournament. Some of the best content creators on wrestling Twitter are in this tournament, and a $50 gift card to ProWrestlingTees.com is up for grabs. So make sure to come, and it'll be a lot of fun too. If you're not involved, make sure to come and support your favorite content creators, and also just get some viewership up, and really make sure, set it down that this is something that I can really, build on and involve more people and really build something here, because it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work. But that's okay when it's a lot of fun. So please come join us next Wednesday or Thursday. You'll find all the details you need to find on my Twitch or on my Twitter. So just head and find that there. But I reminisce. Let's get into some SummerSlam predictions, yeah? Guys, I would just like to make sure that you know to go and check out Brainbusta Radio every single day. There is a new show from 8 different podcasts on Brainbusta Radio. It has everything you need to know with wrestling today, from WWE to New Japan to AEW to the Indies. Everything is covered on Brainbusta Radio. That is 8 different shows across 7 days: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We have you covered. Please Just type in Brainbusta Radio on your favorite podcasting listening device and you'll find Brainbusta Radio. So make sure to check out Brainbusta Radio for all of your wrestling needs. Now let's get back to the show. Alrighty guys, SummerSlam is of course coming up this weekend, and I thought since Kevin isn't here, the easiest thing for me to do is just run down my SummerSlam predictions and my thoughts on SummerSlam and everything like that. So that's what I'm going to do today, so let's get into this. Of course we have the Cruiserweight Championship is on the line. Now, Drew Gulak won the Cruiserweight title, back at Stomping Grounds, I believe, in that triple threat match. So, I mean, the Cruiserweight division in general, it's often said, you know, blah, 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 no one looks at it, whatever. I watch 205 Live, not as much as I used to, but I watch it and I keep up to date with it, and I enjoy it. He's going one-on-one with Oney Lorcan. Now, the thing is with this is that this will 100% be placed on the kickoff. I believe there's 11 matches on the card in total, but this will 100% be on the kickoff. I would say Drew's going to retain here pretty easily. I don't really see Lorcan getting the Cruiserweight title, but hey, I mean, stranger things have happened. I really didn't see Drew Gulak winning the championship back at Stomping Grounds, so we'll see that as I have a drink of my coffee here, guys. And I just spilt it all over myself. Awesome. It's fine though, who gives a fuck. Coffee on me pants. Only on Wrestling Reverb. That's just the sentiment of my week, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, I'm going Drew to win here. I don't really expect anything less here. I expect the match to be good. It'll probably be very hard hitting, given the two people involved in it. So it should be fun. We'll see what happens there. AJ Styles and Ricochet, United States Championship on the line. AJ Styles won the championship back at Extreme Rules. Now, the OC, California, there we go. The OC was a great show. The OC in WWE, though, however, is AJ Styles, Kyle Anderson, and Luke Gallows. The club. They're basically the club, you know, the OC, the original club. You know, I get the drift, but I just think of that every time I see the OC come up on my screen. I'm like, the OC was a show with Misha Barton or whatever her name was. It was just that song that I remember really. Anyway, Styles and Ricochet. Now, I don't really expect Ricochet to get the championship back at SummerSlam, considering he only just lost it, but however, he only won it at Stomping Grounds and lost it at Extreme Rules, but who knows? I think they have some plans with AJ and the OC holding gold. I think that's the kind of deal with it, is that they all have titles. Of course, Anderson and Gallows are the Raw Tag Team Champions, so, you know, there's that. I would say AJ's going to retain here. It'll be a good match. I mean, obviously, they've had good matches in the past. I think they've really been holding back, and I think this is the one they can really do it. But in a sea of all straight one-on-one matches on this card, is that it's going to be hard to make a difference between each match. There's only one match that isn't a standard one-on-one singles match, so we'll see how it goes, but they definitely have the opportunity to, because those two have been great. The build for this has been good. I think it's gone a little bit south, just a little bit, it's not as hyped as I once was for it, but it's been fun, and I have no doubt that they'll put on a good match. But I'm going Styles to retain in this one. Now, a match that I've talked about heaps on this show, me and Kevin have been very excited for it, as have a lot of people, is Trish Stratus and Charlotte Flair. A true dream match, in the sense of the word, and just a match that I'm very much excited for. Toronto, Trish obviously being Canadian, and Charlotte being Charlotte. I really do think this has the keys to be something really, really cool. It has the keys to the castle, I guess you would say, in the sense of just, this could be really, really, really fun. Now, Trish Stratus has been doing, I don't know why I had to preface it that it was Stratus. Trish Stratus, I could have just said Trish, but whatever. Trish has been on media calls the last few days. I'm recording this the day before, so I'm recording this on a Thursday. But Trish been on some media calls, and she kind of has said that this is a good real ending to her career. Will be her final match, as it should be, and as I kind of guessed, with these promos the last couple of weeks, which I'll get to in a minute, it's kind of been, I feel like, okay, this is Trish's, one and done. This is her final match. And that's a good thing. This is a good final match to have with, you don't really get too much bigger than Charlotte Flair. You don't really get too much bigger than this match. This really is, in a lot of sense of the word, two generations clashing, two eras clashing. The two heads of their eras, arguably, on both accounts, going at it. And I think this really has the formula to be really, really cool. Crowd participation will be at an all-time high, I think, for this match. Now, this match is essentially built in 2 weeks. When you just look at television, this match is built in 2 weeks. And they've done a damn fine job of building that in a match and 2 promos. That's all they've had. 2 promos on SmackDown Live and then 1 match on Raw, which Trish didn't even get to wrestle in. But, they still did their shit that they needed to do. I really do think that they built up this match really, really well. The promos have been really, really good. I thought this one on SmackDown this week was particularly really good. The video package was really good. It really is 2 eras clashing, and I'm really excited for that. Now, winner-wise, it would not make any sense for Trish to really win here, because it's for Charlotte. This is to, really stamp in the ground, Charlotte is the queen. No pun intended. But I think Charlotte's going to go over here. It'll be, even what they do wrestling-wise is kind of, I don't know, it's almost redundant to me because the crowd will be so fun. Of course, I care about wrestling. I don't mean it in that sense. I just mean it in, I think you understand what I mean. It almost doesn't matter how great the match really is. Of course, if it's a fantastic wrestling match, 10 out of 10. But you know what I mean. The crowd will be involved. It is like the Hogan and the Rock match. I don't think it would be on that level, but you know what I mean, is in the sense of the actual match itself, if you just look at it from a wrestling standpoint, is fine, but it's not necessarily known for its match. It's known for the crowd, and that's what makes an entertaining WWE match. So I think the crowd will be the one, but Charlotte Flair wins here, and I'm probably most excited about that than anything. Speaking of people coming back, of course, Goldberg and Dolph Ziggler are going to go at it. Now, we thought it was going to be Dolph and Miz for the last few weeks, and then we also hinted at the fact that it could be Dolph and Shawn Michaels. But then there was the big swerve on Raw, and Goldberg come back, and, Dolph's been kind of egging on the fact that, quote-unquote, Goldberg can't wrestle, and he's been kind of, really adding fuel to the fire on that one. So now he's going to get it. Goldberg and Dolph. Now, what I hope from this match, and this is no disrespect to Dolph Ziggler, if this is Goldberg's last hurrah, his last match, I want Goldberg to do what Goldberg does best, and just tear through Ziggler. Spear, jackhammer, and we're done. That's what I want from this match, and it's a good match to break up this card. To be honest, there's going to be a lot of cool wrestling matches, or a lot of opportunity to have some really cool matches. So I hope the fact that this is just a spear, jackhammer, and we're packing on that one, and Goldberg can kind of be like, okay, that's it, I'm done, and he rewrote the mess of the Saudi Arabia show, because that was a mess, and he knows that, and I think everyone knows that. But yeah, I hope that's what happens. But nonetheless, Goldberg is winning here. I can nearly guarantee that one on that. But hey, I don't care what anyone says. A squash, if you want to call it that, as much as I hate that word, a squash is not a bad thing when you're fighting Goldberg at SummerSlam. Dolph Ziggler is the one keeping this story really going for the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's been really the one that's pushing this, and he's in a prominent role. You get a lot of eyes on you when you're fighting Goldberg, no matter who you are. So it's not a bad thing for Dolph. It's a good thing. Who can say they got destroyed by Goldberg at SummerSlam? No one, really. I don't think he's ever destroyed anyone at SummerSlam. So, first time for everything, eh? Of course, we have Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. It is really the re-debut of Bray, the Feed, if you will. He's been using the mandible claw. He's been attacking the legends. He's been really egging on Finn. Finn was the first one he attacked. What a cool way to come back, by the way. Really cool return. I like Bray. I like Finn. Bray will win here because he needs to win here to kind of establish that character. It's a cool character. These two have gone at it before. Yes, no? Surely. Yeah, didn't they fight at SummerSlam a couple of years ago? Who knows? I think they did. Anyway, it's the first of this kind with with Bray's new character. All this build, Bray can really do no wrong at the moment, which is cool. They've really, really handled Bray really well. But Bray will win here, and I think that'll be that. I don't really expect this to go too much further than SummerSlam. It's just a cool little first match for Bray, and we'll get a good match out of it, and Finn can be Finn. You know what I mean? Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon. Now, guys, this one has a lot of eyes on it. Kevin Owens seems to be the saving grace to end Shane McMahon here. Now, if Owens loses, he must quit WWE. This is my take on this. So, Shane this week Owens was trying to egg Shane on into putting his career on the line, and Shane was basically like, fuck off, I'm not doing that. Why would I do that? Which, I mean, why would he do it? Anyway, he was really trying to egg him on. He, didn't want to do that, so it's not happening. This is my take on this. Of course I want Kevin Owens to win. It's in Canada. It's a prominent pay-per-view. It is the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. It's the end to Shane McMahon. However, because they're in Canada and because Owens has got the little stipulation that he must quit, I could nearly seeing them draw this out for a little while. Having Shane win here, Owens quitting, quote unquote, and then coming back very similar way to CM Punk. A few weeks later, Owens comes back, tears through Shane, and we get that one match. And the next pay-per-view is Hell in a Cell. Maybe they'll have a rematch of their Hell in a Cell. Who knows? And that could be the kind of end to Shane. That's where I see this going. So I'm going to go Shane McMahon winning here. Call me crazy. I know I've been saying for weeks that Owens must win, but just hear me out. It's not the worst idea ever to have Shane win first, and then have Owens win in the end and make the moment even specialer. But I understand that Canada is going to be very into the fact that Kevin Owens is got the opportunity to take out Shane McMahon. Let me have another drink of my coffee here. I hope you didn't hear me swallow. Oh man, that is going to be quite the soundbite for people to take. But whatever. Next up, Bayley, Ember Moon, SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, I've been very excited for the fact that this match is happening because I feel like they can really do something special. However, out of everything on this card, I do think that this probably will be the one to take some time cuts, unfortunately. And I don't mean that disrespectfully to the girls. I just mean as in, if you look at everything, if anything's running a little long, unless this is on relatively early in the card, which it could be, it could open the show, but it'll nonetheless. Minutes don't mean everything. You can still maximize your time that you have and make something special out of it. I would say Bayley's going over here, but this one's pretty 50-50. It could go either way. It hasn't had a hell of a lot of build. It's had a little bit. Story-wise, I'm not like the most excited about this match as I am everything else, but wrestling-wise, it'll be fine. We'll see how it goes. I do see Bayley winning, but I say that a little like unconfidently, I guess you would say, is that Ember could really take this home. But I'm going to go Bayley for sake of the argument. Of course, Randy Orton is challenging Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. Now, sign me on the dotted line for this match. This match has been built on the fact that 10 years ago, Kofi, if everyone remembers Kofi in 2009 when he fought Randy, and he was getting real over. He was getting real over. And he was really building some steam, and everyone was like, Kofi might be the next dude. And then it just kind of stopped. And, they alluded to the fact in this week on SmackDown that Randy Orton used his influence to get that, get his push kind of cut down. Who knows if that's true or not, but the fact that they brought it in is fantastic. And this really is essentially the best accidental booking they have ever done. In the fact that this happened 10 years ago, and then, Randy kind of put the end to that, and Randy hopes to put an end to it at SummerSlam. Now, this really, really could be really, really cool, this match. Kofi and Randy have had cool matches in the past. Kofi doesn't have bad matches. Randy doesn't have bad matches. They're always good. Kofi's title run, I've said this many times, he's probably the best booked WWE champion in recent memory. I really can't think of someone that is booked better than him. He rarely loses. He's on television every single week. He's in, really decent matches at every single show. And he fights from underneath. He is the ultimate underdog champion who's turning into a favorite. In the sense of, it's almost morphing from Kofi has beaten Joe, he's beaten Brian, he's beaten, who else did he beat? Joe, Brian, who was his first kind of run at the title? I can't remember. Owens? Oh yeah, he beat Owens. Hello, he's beating a lot of people here. There was someone else he beat, wasn't there? Dolph! How can I forget Dolph? Wow. And Dolph, he's beating a lot of people, is what I'm trying to get at here. And it's almost becoming, slowly, not quite yet, it's almost becoming the fact of, it's not who can Kofi beat, it's who can beat Kofi. Now, Randy is a wild card in this... Oh, I hate that word now, but Randy is a wild card in this situation because you never count Randy Orton out. The Viper can literally strike from anywhere. Now, I wouldn't be completely surprised if Randy was to win at SummerSlam. I hope Kofi retains because they have something cool here with Kofi. They have a cool reign to go with Kofi here, and I think they have something special in Kofi Kingston that not a lot of people are even realizing yet. He's been a great WWE champion. If it was to end at SummerSlam, nonetheless, it's been a great run from Mania to SummerSlam, but I do think it has some more steam left in it. Now, Randy is one that, I don't know, I think Kofi is still probably the underdog in this story because of the history with Randy and Kofi. But if Kofi beats Randy here, it really is going to become that question that I stated to before, is that who can beat Kofi Kingston? He's beating a lot of really top tier talent. If he can add Randy to that list, what an ultimate little story as well, coming from 2009 until now. It's like, to, put the nail in that and say, I beat you, Randy Orton. I told you I was going to beat you and I beat you. That's cool storytelling, and this has a main event feel to it. It won't be the main event. It will not go on last, but it has a cool main event feel to it, which I think it could main event. If you put it on the last spot, it really could deliver, but it's not going to, unfortunately. But if I was a betting man, I'm gonna go Kofi. I'm gonna put my money on Kingston here to retain. But that is just like the SmackDown Women's title, that one could go either way. But Kofi is retaining in my eyes. Raw Women's title, Becky Lynch and Natalya in the only non-one-on-one match, the only non-singles match, I should say, of the whole show. Of course, this is a submission match. It's the Sharpshooter versus the Disarmer. Now, Canada loves hearts, so they're going to be very much behind Natty. They're not going to boo Becky Lynch by any sense of the word, but Natty I think will be the favourite. It will be a very 60-40 crowd, in my opinion. However, it could go either way. Now, here's the thing. Natty is someone that has been kind of, she is that good hand. She's almost Dolph Ziggler, or she's almost, that kind of pro wrestler, that kind of WWE superstar. She's the one when they need someone, she's there. She can deliver great matches, and she can help someone move along in a story. I don't expect Natty to win here. I kind of expect Becky to go over with a sharpshooter, if I have to be completely honest. I really do see Becky could go win with a sharpshooter, but who knows? Who knows what could happen? I could be completely talking out of my ass there. However, I do think Becky goes over. I don't know, submission matches to me are like, the best part of a wrestling match is a false finish in the sense of a pinfall. So you take that away in a submission match, but it doesn't mean it's going to be bad. They could have a fantastic match. but I don't really expect like a lot from it. But it'll be fun. It'll still be fine. The crowd will still be really into it, which is cool. But Becky retains the Raw Women's title here. If Natty was to win, I'd be pretty surprised, and I don't really know where you'd go with that. That being said, what is next for Becky Lynch? Coming out of SummerSlam, who knows who she'll work with next? There is a few different options, but who really knows what we can really do with Becky next? But Becky, I'm putting my money on Becky here to retain, and I'll just add in the bonus that I think she should retain with a sharpshooter, but we'll see. Now, before we get into the main event, I do want to talk about Roman Reigns and the Attacker storyline that's kind of going on. As I take another drink from my coffee, again, you're going to hear me sip this. Huh? Coffee content for Wrestling Reverb this week. When Kevin isn't here, it just goes completely south. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, Roman and the Attacker. He nearly got hit by a car this week on Raw. Last week, of course, he nearly got stuff knocked on him from a forklift. But, Roman was, there was a sense it could have been Samoa Joe, and then Samoa Joe didn't do it because he was, helping Roman, blah, 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 blah. We went to SmackDown this week, and Roman was going to find out who did it. He had a lead in the investigation, I guess you would say. And I come to Buddy Murphy. First and foremost, I'm glad to see Buddy Murphy, in some sense of the word, on television again, because, oh man, that poor guy since leaving 205 has been on SmackDown once. This was his second appearance on SmackDown, so, there's that. Anywho, he's seen Buddy. I think everyone's seen that picture circulating on the internet of Buddy was there. Was it Buddy Murphy? He kind of wanted answers. Buddy was like, piss off, mate. You ain't getting my answer from me. Even if, I knew, I wouldn't tell you. Then Roman beat the shit out of him and kind of pinned him up against the wall. And he said, Rowan did it. Now, I have stated last week that I no longer read wrestling dirt sheets. However, it's pretty hard to avoid the fact that everyone has been commenting on these things and quote RTing them and just saying it on their Twitters on their tweets. I guess I was right, on their Twitters. Whatever. Anyway, that Daniel Bryan is, speculation is that Daniel Bryan did it. Now, I didn't take too much into account because, again, I'm not reading wrestling dirt sheets, but the fact that he said Rowan did it, and now we've got a little bit of a nod to the fact that maybe Bryan set it up. Of course, he denied it, but I'm okay with Bryan and Roman having some fun. That could be really fun in the ring. I really think they've had matches in the past and they were fantastic. So if you take it back to Fastlane 2016 or 15, Fastlane 2015, they had a fantastic match. And Roman, on that road to WrestleMania. They had a really cool match. So, let's just hope for the best in that sense. And I like the kind of story that they're going. It's been a little cheesy, but you're going to get that when you have, people getting run down with cars and forklifts being tossed about and whatever. But it's still fine. It's still intriguing. And once we get past this little bit, it'll be fun. And I guess they're not having a match at SummerSlam, but I guess it'll be involved in some way. I'd like to see Buddy Murphy get involved, Samoa Joe get involved, just to add some layers to this story. But it's cool because I seen on someone's Twitter, it was another wrestling podcast, and I feel really bad. Kenny for your thoughts, I believe it was. Shout out to him. Because, I seen it on his Twitter, it's nice watching Raw and SmackDown and ending on a complex situation, not just celebrating after a match, or, we're actually we ended SmackDown this week with oh my god, Rowan did it? And then you have to watch. Now we're actually intrigued to watch SummerSlam, intrigued to watch Raw and SmackDown. There's actual, a cliffhanger. I believe that's what he stated anyway. I'm paraphrasing here because I haven't got the tweet up in front of me. I seen it yesterday. But yeah, it's really cool to see that and see, hey, a cliffhanger is ending these episodes and we have to actually watch to figure out what's kind of next and what we're kind of doing here and, who really did it. And it's there is an element of soap opera inside of pro wrestling. And that's very drama, that's very soap opera-y, very Days of Our Lives-esque is like, oh my god, who did it? You know, toned down, of course, but it's got that element in it. And I don't, call me crazy, but that's a good thing in wrestling. That's the entertainment storytelling of wrestling. It has got a lot of those elements in it. So I'm excited to see where this goes, and the fact that we're leading, it seems, to Bryan and Roman, because that could really take us through the next few months of television leading into, you know, October and November television, which, you know, from after SummerSlam until Rumble, things can get a little bit like, get a little bit, you know, at least SummerSlam, and then the build up to Survivor Series at least. You got Survivor Series, which kind of picks us back up, but then that post Survivor Series to Rumble build is hard. Like, you've got Christmas and all the holidays, and wrestling takes a little bit of a dip in those times, so we'll see how it goes, but you need some kind of storyline to keep us intrigued, and this could be the one that does it, especially if they capitalize on this, because we've had nice little build-ups now from that post-Mania slump. For the last month and a half, 2 months, we've had really cool stories, and we've had cool Raws and SmackDowns leading into SummerSlam. And when we go post-SummerSlam, we could get back into that slump very easily, which is what I don't want. And I don't know if we'll necessarily get it, but it is a possibility. But we got to build something in towards, you know, that part of the year, and then beyond, and then before you know it'll be Mania again. So there is that. Now, main event. Brock and Seth. Rematch from Mania. Brock's got the championship again. Seth's chasing it again. Brock's been beating the shit out of Seth Rollins again. It is more of the same, however, it has been a really good build to this. Now, here's my thoughts on this. We've had this moment with Brock losing the title only to regain it a few times now, with Roman and then with Seth. Are we going to get it again? Because if we get it again, Brock has to stay away from the Universal Championship for a little while. He has to, because you just can't keep having Brock coming back and winning and more of the same every time. It's working for now, and it's fine. But if Seth wins, it has to be Seth wins and runs with this championship for a little while. Now, I don't necessarily think Seth's going to win it back. I think Brock's going to retain and move on to someone else. And then, you know, he leads it into Survivor Series, Rumble, whatever. I do think that's going to happen. Unfortunately, I do think that's going to happen. I don't hate Brock. I don't really love Seth, though. Maybe it's my feelings getting in the way for him, but I think Brock wins here. I think they have an opportunity to have more of a wrestling match than they did at Mania. Mania was more of a, you know, opener, get the crowd up hot, and Seth just wins. I think this one's going to be more of a match. And that's a good thing, because we need that. But I'm going to go Brock to win here. And that was all the SummerSlam predictions that I have. A little bit of a shorter episode this week, I know. But of course, I don't have anyone here to bounce off of in the form of Kevin. But yeah, please make sure. SummerSlam should be really fun, mind you. SummerSlam should be a really, 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 really fun time. Really, really excited for SummerSlam. And hey, TakeOver Toronto is going to be quite the fucking time as well. We've got Io and Candice, Shayna Baszler, Mia Yim, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano. We got Street Profits and Undisputed Era. That triple threat, Roddy Strong, Pete Dunne, Velveteen Dream. Toronto, TakeOver. Man, oh man, oh man. That is going to be a fun time. I love takeovers. I am a NXT fan, of course. I don't talk about NXT enough on this show, but I do love NXT, as most of us do. NXT is fantastic. Toronto is going to be a really good show. SummerSlam should be a really fun show. We got a fun weekend of wrestling, which is exciting, which is what you want. Please make sure to check out everything I have going on. Just head over to my Twitter, at JoshRobinson00. So make sure you can find my link tree there with all of the links you need to all of my shows. Dits vs. Josh, The Josh Robinson Show, Wrestling Reverb, all my Twitch stuff, all my YouTube stuff. I've got a lot of cool things happening. I'm not going to brag, but I do have a lot of cool stuff happening, and I really, really just want you guys to really love what I'm doing. I'm putting a lot of effort into these. Make sure to check out the SummerSlam simulation on twitch.tv/BBR television, or BBR TV, I should say, this Friday night. 7 p.m. Eastern in stateside. So make sure to check out that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And make sure to rate this podcast 5 stars on iTunes, whether it's on my feed or on Brainbusta Radio. Just make sure to rate both of us. I'd love it. Brainbusta Radio would love it. We got a lot of cool things happening in Brainbusta Radio land as well. So make sure to do that. And please make sure you take a moment to mourn the loss of the IIconics with the Women's Tag Team Championships, because I am, as you can tell by the start of this episode. Love and peace to all of you. It's been a wild week, and we should have a wonderful SummerSlam. So everyone enjoy SummerSlam, enjoy TakeOver, enjoy whatever you're watching. Until next time, peace out.